day after day, week after week, we deal with frustrated parents that come into the clinic and go, "It is really hard for me to get little Johnny to eat better." So the
Yeah,
challenge is, the parents will say, "Well, I hate vegetables. I don't want to eat that.
just
It
like that
it
too.
feels like fuzz or fur."
Just like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So we have to kind of guide them in a healthy direction so that it doesn't become a family feud.
Well, when I was growing up, I got to tell you, and people might not believe this, but I used to say I hate vegetables, and I did. I made myself hate vegetables because I continued to say that, and I wasn't encouraged to eat them. But I got to tell you, man, I mean, I sit down. We didn't have much money, but I sit down to many of a meal where it was like a canned spinach that had the green sauce running all over everything. I'm like, that is like nasty, and it was not very good. And I remember being told to clean my plate. And I remember taking those bites and literally crying and trying to get one little string of that spinach down. And so I did grow up because of that environment to hate vegetables, and I talked myself into it, not realizing the whole time that vegetables are really the highest nutrient value things that we should be eating more of. So, we've got to really think about the whole aspects of what parents are doing and how parents are presenting the case to kids in regard to, not just not saying that, but putting the idea that vegetables are good for you in your head and in your body.
Well, and I know this for a fact, is that children will not grow up doing better than their parents do. So the ground rules or the habits start in the home. So if the
Mm,
parents bring those things in and they make them okay, the kids begin to think that that's okay. So we have to
yeah,
start getting those things out and making healthy transitions. Like instead of almond joy, maybe just almonds as a snack. Or
yeah.
instead of ice cream, maybe a frozen protein shake.
I had a really, I just thought of an interesting case I had. This has been years ago, but it was a mother that came in and a father, and they brought their two kids who happened to be girls, and
Oh,
they
I
were,
remember that.
I think they were in their teens, very overweight. The two girls were. The mother was very concerned, and she's the one that brought them in. And dad, I remember sitting over there like this, and he was somewhat supportive, but observantly looking at them, not judgmental. They were overweight too, and they were concerned about their kids, and I appreciate that. They wanted us to help them with their kids, right? Help their kids lose weight. And one of them actually was type 2 diabetic borderline at that point. And I think she was 16, super sad. But they wanted us to help with them. And I remember the day that I had the kids get out of that office and I talked to the parents. And I was straight with them. I mean, I looked them in the eye and I said, "Hey, you want me to help your kids?" "Yes." I said, "What are you all doing? Are you all doing the same thing that I'm asking them to do?" And the mom was like, "Well, I know I need to." And the dad was like, "Well, that's their thing." And I just jumped right in the middle of their nonsense at that point. And I said, "No, no, you got to lead. Because ultimately, if the parents don't do it, why would the kids do it? Why?" And they would have no reason. Now, they weren't successful at all because of that very principle. And I grieve the idea that those kids may be, destroyed emotionally because they were in that position, knowing that the parents were literally criticizing them under the veil of being concerned about them, but they weren't willing to do what it took on their own side to lead the way.
Well, that's kind of a hard concept
Yeah,
when you start to think about that. That's almost like being a hypocrite. From my perspective, being a clinician,
yeah,
seeing another clinician telling their patients, "Hey, don't smoke," but they're outside smoking a cigarette.
ooh.
We have to be careful about the way that we teach our children to go. If you teach them to go in the right ways, they'll never depart from those ways.
Well, there is a scripture, I think it's Proverbs 20, verse 6, that says that, but ultimately, if we're not leading the way, who is? I think about this. Who is? If the parents aren't leading the way in the physical way, and spiritual and emotional too, but if they're not doing it, the kids need leadership. We all know that because they're not able to, as a 10 and 12-year-old, go outside out here in the world and make it. They have to have leadership. And so who's leading the way? Well, it's media, it's other people, other kids, and that's just kind of luck of the draw, isn't it, today? I mean, we all know that. But with the trends going the way they are, to lead people down the pathway of a healthier life, the parents have to do it. They have to begin to make it a fun process of eating healthy. Get fruits out just like this, and make it a fun process. Name that fruit. Where does it come from? Where is it grown at? What nutrients does it contain? Begin to mix in things like Kingdom Fuel. Right, we've talked about that before. I was talking to a well-known influencer recently. It was actually Lara Trump. And,
Yeah, Kingdom Fuel. What is Kingdom Fuel?
well, it's a meal we created. It's in a whole jug that is organic pea protein. It's greens and reds. It's got a full spectrum of vitamins and minerals and soluble and insoluble fiber. And I thought to myself, that's great. And when I was talking to Lara about that, that's Donald Trump's daughter-in-law, actually, she says, well, yeah, that's perfect for my kids. And we talked about mixing in fruits, mixing in bananas, mixing it with almond milk and coconut milk and things like that, and mixing in vegetables. Can you imagine blending vegetables into that drink? Amazing, amazing process. And we can all do that to sort of make it convenient and lead the way for these kids.
Yeah, and making meal planning fun. Kids can cut up the fruit. They can make
Exactly.
shapes out of the fruit. They can help make the meat patties. They can make shapes out of the meat patty. So it becomes not just nutrition, it can become also an art.
Teach them how to cook. Teach them what the food means. Teach them what real food is. Give them a fun opportunity, whether it's helping them cook or letting them cook with you or making a fun smoothie and letting them pick the flavors they want into it. There is a bunch of different ways to help. But parents, you got to lead the way, man, and give them a chance. And if you don't give them a chance, what chance do they have, right? So I think that these are some real key tools and key opportunities to help us teach kids how to be more healthy.
Let's get real. Most emergency food is just as bad for you as any other choice in the standard American diet. And that's just sad.
We don't just need food. We need highly nutritional food.
We don't just want to survive food shortages. We are meant to thrive in adversity.
Complete your daily nutrition and have shelf-stable Kingdom Fuel as a cornerstone of your food supply.
Don't sacrifice your health or your taste buds.
Stock up on Kingdom Fuel now.
Hello, I'm Kevin Sorbo. Now, there's an old saying, it's not what you know, but who you know that matters. Now, that's true in our careers, spiritual life, and when it comes to our health and overall well-being. Today, most of us know a lot of information about health and nutrition, but are we really doing anything with it? So here's what I've learned from working with Doctors Michele and Mark Sherwood. They're the founders of the Functional Medical Institute. You need a wellness plan that's customized based on your unique needs. Now remember, real change can only happen when you address the whole person. That is exactly what Mark and Michele do, and why they are people you should know. They'll help you discover what you need to experience transformation. Find out at sherwood.tv/Sorbo. That's sherwood.tv/Sorbo, or just see the link below. Have a great day and God bless.
I could use your assistance.
Okay,
Jesus. Huh? My name is Jesus.
Sure. Jesus.
Jesus is here today.
You looking for a job?
Yes, sir.
You and Mark have 45 days before the bank book closes.
Not to worry. They do not call me by God Byron for nothing. The collection plate starts to be passed around. Mark reaches into the basket and shouts, "You and your family are the winner from the first church of the lotto." Kind of think of it like a high-stakes bingo night every Sunday.
Poopy diaper!
Poopy diaper!
This video of the diaper is going viral right before our eyes.
this is a miracle.
What is?
Friends of Faith has over 300,000 followers.
Oh my dad! That's more followers than Moses had.
Jesus! Take the wheel!
Just say it.
No,
Stop
take
it.
the wheel!
I got it, buddy.